Hi students, welcome to Karthik Chemistry channel. Now I am going to explain you the mechanism of corrosion. So corrosion is mainly classified as two types. One is dry corrosion and another one is wet corrosion. In the previous class I explained you. So now I am going to explain you the mechanism of dry corrosion. Okay. So mechanism of dry and wet corrosion, these two are important questions for engineering students, whether it is in applied chemistry or engineering chemistry. So see here, now I am going to explain you the mechanism of dry corrosion. What is dry corrosion? Damage of a metal due to attack of dry gases. Okay, the damage of a metal due to the attack of dry gas is called dry corrosion. Okay, so here this can be explained by direct chemical attack theory. According to this theory, the corrosion of metal is initiated by direct attack of oxygen on metal surface. Okay, the direct attack of oxygen on the metal surface, the direct attack of dry oxygen on the metal surface. Here when oxygen is attacked on the metal surface, first what happens, the metal gets damaged, the metal gets oxidized. Okay, the metal gets oxidized into metal ions. For example, Fe is oxidized into Fe2 plus ions, Li plus ions, K plus. Okay, so lead Pb plus, Pb2 plus. So like that the metal gets oxidized to metal ions. So when it is oxidized to its metal ions, it releases some electrons. Okay, basing on the nature of metal, so it may release one electron or two electrons or three electrons. For example, if you take lithium, so Li is oxidized to Li plus ion and it releases one electron. Okay, so see here, so basing on the nature of metal, so for example lithium, so lithium belongs to first group, so that is why Li gives rise to Li plus electron, that means it releases one electron. So for example sodium or potassium, Na gives rise to Na plus electrons. Okay, if you take magnesium, Mg gives rise to Mg2 plus 2 electrons. If you take aluminum, Al gives rise to Al3 plus 3 electrons. So basing on the nature of metal, so it satisfies its valency, that is why it loses, for getting stability it loses one electron or two electrons or three electrons. So that is why first the metal gets oxidized to metal ions by the release of electrons. Okay, so these released electrons are utilized for reducing the oxygen, and oxygen is converted into oxide form. Okay, so the electrons reduce oxygen to form oxide ions, that means oxygen O2 is converted into O2 minus ions. So and then the metal ion and oxide ion combine to form metal oxide layer. Okay, so that is the corroded form, metal oxide layer on the surface of the metal, that is the corroded form. So see here, I can explain you the reactions here in reactions in general form. For example, if you, so any metal, so say let us assume that it is M. So here what I explained you, when dry gas is attacked on the surface of metal, the metal gets oxidized to metal ions. Okay, M gives rise to Mn plus N electrons. So if it is lithium, Li gives rise to Li plus electrons. If it is magnesium, Mg gives rise to Mg2 plus 2 electrons. If it is aluminum, Al gives rise to Al3 plus 3 electrons. Okay, that means the metal gets oxidized to metal ions by releasing of some electrons. Okay, then these electrons are utilized for reducing the incoming oxygen. Okay, so see here, half O2 plus n electrons. So half O2 plus n electrons gives rise to O2 minus half O2 plus 2 electrons. So we are writing in general form, that is why half NO2 plus 2n electrons gives rise to NO2 minus. Okay, so what is the reaction generally? Half O2 plus 2 electrons gives rise to O2 minus. Oxygen gas is converted into oxide ion. Okay, so half NO2 plus n electrons gives rise to NO2 minus. Okay, so here 2n electrons. So by balancing this equation, it is multiplied with 2. It is the oxidation reaction. Okay students, it is the oxidation reaction and it is the reduction reaction. Okay, because here the metal gets oxidized to its metal ions by releasing of some electrons. These electrons are utilized for reducing the oxygen and converted into oxide form. Okay, it is the oxide ion, oxide form. So and then what is the net reaction? So 2 into m 2m plus half NO2 gives rise to Mn plus O2 minus. That means as per crisscross rule, M to ON. M to ON. It is the oxide form. M to ON is the oxide form. So it is the oxide form. The nature of metal oxide layer plays an important role in determining the further continuity of the corrosion reaction. Okay, initially whatever the metal it may be, when the dry oxygen is attacked on the surface of metal, so the metal gets oxidized and the electrons liberated from the metal ions are utilized for reducing the oxygen, and the oxygen is converted into oxide form, and these two, metal ion and oxide form, can combine as a metal oxide form. Okay, it is the metal oxide form. So see here. Okay students, it is the net reaction. I explained you already, M2ON. So it is the metal oxide form. Okay, the further corrosion is dependent on the nature of the oxide film. Okay, it may be stable film or unstable film or volatile oxide film or porous film. Okay, so for example, the first one is stable, protective and non-porous oxide film. Okay, some metal layers, some corrosive metal layer which is formed on the metal surface may be stable, may be protective and may be non-porous. Okay, so what are the examples of such type of cases? Aluminium. Okay, the metal layer which is formed on the surface of the metal oxide layer which is formed on the surface of aluminium is a stable film. Okay, that do not encourage further corrosion. Okay, that is why that is a protective oxide film. Okay, the film, that means the film which is formed on the surface of aluminium have no pores, that is why that is a non-porous oxide film. Okay, so the metal oxide film, for example aluminium, on the surface of aluminium a metal oxide film is formed. Metal oxide film. Okay, so when dry gas is attacked or dry oxygen is attacked on the surface of aluminium, a metal oxide film is formed. This metal oxide film is stable film, protective film and non-porous oxide film. Okay, that is why that doesn't encourage further corrosion. The metal oxide film do not encourage further corrosion. Okay, and then unstable oxide film. Okay, in case of some cases, in case of some metals like Ag, Au, Pt, okay, silver, gold, platinum. In case of some metals like silver, gold, platinum, they form unstable oxide film. Okay, unstable oxide film. So that is why the black layer of the black layer which is formed on the surface of silver, okay, or gold or platinum can be easily washed. Okay, and again we get shiny look after washing. Okay, tarnishing of silver, Ag, the damage of silver is called tarnishing of silver. That means silver, when it is in contact with dry air, dry oxygen, so black layer is formed on the surface. Okay, when you wash it again you get a shiny look. Okay, that is why that is an unstable oxide film. If it is a stable oxide film, we do not get that shiny look after washing. Okay, so the formation of unstable oxide film decomposes back into the metal and oxygen, so corrosion doesn't take place. Okay, so that is why gold, silver, platinum, these all are called noble metals. Okay, expensive metals. That is why these are expensive, because they do not corrode easily like iron, aluminium, chromium. Okay, so because the film which is formed on the surface is unstable oxide film, that is not a stable oxide film. Okay, if it is a stable oxide film, we cannot get that shiny look after washing. Okay, so we are washing so many times and getting shiny look, new look on the surface of silver, gold, platinum, because the film, the oxide film which is formed on the surface is a unstable oxide film. Okay, in some cases we may observe volatile oxide films. Okay, for example, molybdenum forms volatile oxide film. Okay students, molybdenum forms volatile oxide film. That means the oxide film which is formed on the surface is easily volatilized immediately after its formation. Okay, some metal oxide films volatilize immediately after its formation, and hence the metal undergoes corrosion continuously. So such type of films are called volatile oxide films. Okay, and then porous and non-protective oxide films. So in case of some metals like first group, second group, alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, they form porous oxide films. Okay, in case of alkali and alkaline earth metals, they form porous oxide films. So they encourage corrosion, they encourage further corrosion because they are non-protective oxide films. Okay, so the film allows the oxygen gas to diffuse, and hence metal inside the film also undergoes corrosion because of pores. Because of pores means holes. Because of pores, the film allows the oxygen gas to diffuse, and hence the metal inside the film also undergoes corrosion. So what are the examples? Alkali and alkaline earth metal oxide films. Okay, so these are the oxide films which is formed on the surface of metal due to the attack of dry gases, due to the attack of dry oxygen. One is a stable, protective and non-porous oxide film. So these the oxide layers which is formed on the aluminum, chromium, copper, tungsten, so they do not encourage further corrosion because of stable, protective and non-porous oxide films. And then unstable oxide films, so like Ag, Au, platinum, they also do not encourage further corrosion because of unstable oxide films and because of non-porous oxide films. So in some cases volatile oxide films, they encourage further corrosion because of the oxide film is because of the oxide film which is formed on the surface is volatile in nature. And then porous and non-productive oxide films. So some oxide films formed on the surface of metals allows the oxygen gas to diffuse, and hence the metal inside the film also undergoes corrosion because of porous nature and non-productive nature. So all mainly alkali metals and alkaline earth metals are examples for porous and non-productive oxide films. Okay, so Pilling Bedworth rule. According to Pilling Bedworth, basing on this rule, we can explain that whether the film is porous and non-productive, or non-porous and productive. Okay, basing on Pilling Bedworth rule, we can explain that we can say whether the film formed on the surface is either productive or non-productive, either porous or non-porous. What is Pilling Bedworth rule? Pilling Bedworth rule is the ratio of volume of metal oxide formed to the volume of metal consumed. Okay, it is the ratio of volume of metal oxide formed to the volume of metal consumed. Okay, volume of metal layer formed. So it is volume of metal layer, not consumed. Okay, so what is Pilling Bedworth rule? Pilling Bedworth rule is the ratio of volume of metal oxide layer formed to the volume of metal layer. Okay, so if the ratio is less than 1, then the metal oxide layer is porous and non-productive. Okay students, if the ratio is less than 1, then the metal oxide layer will be porous and non-productive. Okay, what is rule 2? It is rule 1. It is rule 2. If the ratio is equal or greater than 1, then the metal oxide layer will be non-porous and protective. If the ratio is equal or greater than 1, then the metal oxide layer will be non-porous and protective. Okay, simply for getting the ratio less than 1, the numerator should be less and denominator is high. That means the volume of metal oxide layer is less and volume of metal layer is high, then only you get less than 1. In such cases it is a porous and non-productive oxide film. If the volume of metal oxide formed is high, if the number of numerator is high and the number of numerator is less than number of denominator is less than the numerator, then you get greater than 1. If it is equal to 1 or greater than 1, then the metal oxide layer will be non-porous and protective. Okay, so the oxide layers of aluminum, copper, chromium, tungsten. These are the rules. These are the rule 1 and rule 2. Okay, it is Pilling Bedworth rule. Pilling Bedworth rule means the ratio of volume of metal oxide layer formed to the volume of metal layer. Okay, if it is less than 1, the oxide layer is porous and non-productive. If the ratio is greater than 1, then the oxide layer is non-porous and protective. Okay, students, it is the mechanism of dry corrosion. Okay, so simply by the attack of dry oxygen or dry gases on metal surface, the metal gets oxidized to metal ions by the release of some electrons. The released electrons are utilized for reducing the oxygen to form oxide ions. Then the metal ions and oxide ions combine to form metal oxide film. Okay, so basing on the nature of metal oxide film, we can classify it as stable, protective and non-porous oxide film, unstable oxide film, volatile oxide film, and then porous and non-productive oxide film. Okay, these are the oxide films formed on the surface of metal surfaces basing on the nature of metal. Okay, so in case of aluminum, chromium, copper, tungsten, they form stable, protective and non-porous oxide films. In case of silver, gold, platinum, they form unstable oxide films. In case of molybdenum, they form volatile oxide film. In case of alkali metals and alkaline earth metals, they form porous and non-productive oxide films. Okay, simply we can say whether it is for porous or non-productive oxide films basing on the Pilling-Bedworth rule. Okay, basing on Pilling-Bedworth rule, we can say whether it is porous film or non-porous film. Rule 1 and rule 2. So if it is less than 1, if the ratio is less than 1, that is a porous and non-productive oxide film. If the ratio is greater than 1, that is non-porous and productive oxide film. Okay students, thank you for watching. So it is the mechanism of dry corrosion. Okay, thank you.